Now, he was once an influential voice in the ruling APC party, a key founding member, in fact, and an arch advocate of its values, whatever those may have been, which he hoped would help shape a new Nigeria. Dr. George Moghalu was, after all, the National Auditor of the APC and was later appointed as the new Managing Director and CEO of the National Inland Waterways Authority by President Buhari. But that was before he became an aggrieved aspirant, taking the party to court for failing to conduct governorship primaries in Anambra State in 2021. He subsequently resigned from the APC, accusing it of not obeying its own rules and of forcing decisions down people's throats. Well, he's now joined the Labour Party and seems happy enough to become a governorship aspirant in Anambra State under its umbrella. But given the fact that many members of the influential Obedient movement say they simply can't see him as one of them, not to mention the fact that the Labour Party is split down the middle and severely factionalized by its own internecine crisis, what hope does he realistically have? Well, for more on this, I'm joined now in the studio by Dr. George Moghalu, Labour Party governorship aspirant in Anambra State. Thank you very much indeed for coming in.
Thanks, Charles, for having me. I appreciate it.
Now, you worked for the APC as both its national auditor and later under appointment by an APC government as the managing director and CEO of the National Inland Waterways Authority, NIWA. So in a sense, you were made politically by the APC. So how come you left the party? I mean, you no longer think that it's fit to govern Anambra State, your state of origin in particular, and Nigeria in general?
No, let's start by correcting that impression. I wasn't made by APC. Rather, I played a role in making APC.
Yeah, but you were made politically.
No, not politically. I've been in the system for quite a while. I was the first elected public secretary of NRC in the old Imo states before states were created. And from there, I served in the government of Abia State. And if you remember, in 1999, I was elected the first national secretary of the All People's Party that later became ANPP, All Nigeria People's Party.
Yeah, but you can certainly argue that the APC added to whatever it is you had. I mean, so to that extent, it contributed in the making of Dr. George Moghalu.
There's no doubt about it.
Yeah.
I just needed to correct that little impression that APC didn't make me, but APC contributed because I served APC as national auditor. Okay, at a point, I was a member of the national caucus of APC, and then like you rightly observed too, even before I became the managing director of the National Inland Waterways Authority, the president, our then president, appointed me chairman of the board of directors of NICOMSAT, Nigeria Communications Satellite. So I served the board as chairman for about 2 years before my appointment in 2019 as the MD of the National Inland Waterways came to be. And then I now had to leave the party secretariat and move to Lokoja.
But I mean, now you are betwixt, aren't you? I mean, many people in the Southeast have said, and we talk to a lot of people, so it's nothing personal, that they view you with suspicion because of the time you spent in the APC, and you left because you fell out of favor. That's their impression in the APC. I mean, are you coming across these Labour loyalists who are suspicious of your motives?
No, it's expected. It's expected. In a situation where we find ourselves, people will suspect you. People are entitled to their individual opinions. But if anybody follows my political trajectory, you will understand that I'm not carved in the mold of politician who moves from place to place. Because in actual fact, since this political dispensation, this is the first time I shifted political loyalty from what it used to be, because from APP I went to ANP. We moved over to ANPP. From ANPP, when I became the national vice chairman, we got to a point where we agreed between ANPP, CPC, FCN, part of ABGA, part of DPP, led by later Kamukali, that we need to come together to form a merger to be able to remove PDP from government. So I have been consistent in my political trajectory, not until this time around that I had to take the decision of changing my platform. You see, Charles, like I've told a few
Why did you take that?
Good. Like I've told a few people who have discussed with me prior to this time, when you consider political contestation, two issues are very critical. One is the person. In this instance, it is me. The second is the platform. Okay, for the person, the decision is me to make. Or I can consult my wife, I can consult my children, I can consult those who are very close to me. That is optional if I decide to. But the decision about me is about me. It's for me to make. But when you talk about political platform, it goes beyond you. It requires quite a world of consultation, your political associates, your friends, the electorate and things. So for me now to take a decision to run an election in Anambra State, which is now beyond me as a person, I needed to do that level of wide consultation, after which we came to the conclusion that the best option for us as a team that I'm representing was for me to run on the platform of Labour.
But there are insiders within the Labour Party, are there not, who are not only shocked by your defection from the APC, but who refuse to believe that you are the real deal. I mean, they're worried that the APC might have sent you as the, I'm sure you've heard it, the proverbial fifth columnist to disorganize the party in Anambra State, whether you win or lose the nomination as governorship candidate. I mean, what do you have to say to that?
No, it's expected. You see, we are talking of political contestation. So people who are also interested in the position you're seeking are entitled to those views and opinions.
Yeah, but how do you dispel those?
No, fine. It's about getting your record to the public domain.
Right.
It's about constant engagement. It's about talking with the people. It's about reaching out to the people. And they understand who you are. Those who know me as a person who have encountered me one way or the other will not buy that narrative. But those who don't know me will require further explanation. And that is why, that's what the campaign
is. Well, I mean, that's why you're here, to give that explanation. You still haven't told us why you left the APC.
That's why I told you that I left APC because I felt that I had a better platform to realize my ambition.
Right. So you simply just switched from one party to the other because you wanted to
Good. After wide consultation, because if you remember, I started by telling you that whenever there is a political contestation, two issues are very critical. One is the person, the other is the platform. And when it involves the platform, it involves more people because you are going to get people to work with you to realize that ambition.
So no sense of commitment to the APC?
It's not about sense of commitment this time around. It's about the reality on the ground. It is about addressing the issues as I'm confronted with. I had run an APC platform, don't forget. Like you mentioned in 2021, okay? We like you started, we talked about running on that platform. We bought forms, we got ourselves together, we presented ourselves to our people, and an opportunity was provided for them to make an assessment and decide who they think can represent their interest well. But the party scuttled that process completely. It got to the extent where I, in an attempt to prove my point, went to court. The case even went up to the point of from High Court to the Appeal Court, from Appeal Court to Supreme Court. At the end of the day, the court confirmed my position that no primaries were held because we made rules that we didn't keep the terms of the rules. At the end of the day, the court ruled that there was no primaries.
And you expect to get better treatment in the Labour Party?
Yes, I'm hopeful.
Because it is a very divided party.
Yes, I am very hopeful. I am very hopeful. You see, I get a little worried when people talk about party division. I get a little bit worried because I've been in the system. I've been in party administration for quite a while. I'm quite experienced in it because apart from when I left to go to NIWA as managing director, from 1999 I've been constantly in party leadership and party administration, being national secretary, moving to being vice chairman, moving from vice chairman to being national auditor and what have you. So I have been in the system, I understand it. Political parties are human organizations, and the likelihood of interest clashing, ambitions clashing is there. So what is happening in Labour today, from my own observation, is that interests are clashing because it's a human organization. And because it's a human organization, discussions will be held at a particular point in time. These issues will be resolved. All other parties have their own internal challenges. The difference between Party A and Party B is how do you manage these challenges. But as to whether the challenges will come, certainly they will come.
But you do know that there are parties that haven't survived those challenges.
Oh yeah, sure. That's what I said. That what differentiates Party A from Party B is how you manage those challenges. All right?
Of course, you know that to win, I mean, let's assume the Labour Party is together enough to, you know, move forward in Anambra State and, you know, with the sort of primaries and all the rest of it. To win the nomination in the Labour Party in Anambra State, do you think you need the blessing of Peter Obi, whose home state it is? As you know, he was the presidential candidate of the Labour Party. He actually made the Labour Party ascendant by his presence in it. And it is also around him that the movement, the obedient movement revolves. I mean, and many of them have said that they simply can't see you as their candidate. I mean, what sort of inroad have you made in trying to win them over to your corner?
I have made quite a reasonable inroad. I've been reaching out, I'm consistently reaching out, and will continue to reach out until the date of primaries. Okay, we have a 21 local government, 326 electoral ward structure. So what I've been doing is to engage the party leaders and the party leadership at various levels, critical stakeholders, and the party members to sell myself to them so that they will, by the time they make up their minds as to who they will support at the primary that is coming up about the 5th of April, I will be their choice.
Yeah, but why I mean, can you see why some of them would see you as an opportunist?
No, there's no doubt about that. Certainly there's no doubt about some of them.
Because I mean, you have not fought the fight with them. You haven't been there in the trenches with them, and you've just come after they've created something. Yeah. You've now come and cream off the top of that. You see what I mean?
You see, I am not an unknown quantity in the politics of my state. That fact must be made clear. I am a known name, visible. So the platform now is not the issue, because a point will come where the questions will be asked. Who are the candidates? Who are the aspirants? And then all of us will be adjudged on our individual merit and consideration. Because you see, the important thing for the party is to win election. That is the only way the party can remain relevant. Winning election. And for them to win election, they must go with their first 11. Gubernatorial elections is like Premier League. You don't go with second 11. So it's a matter of making up your mind. What do we really want? These questions must be asked. And who are the aspirants? And of all these aspirants, who has the better chance of our presenting him and winning an incumbent governor? So these facts must be taken into account. And then before decisions are made. So as to whether I'm reaching out to the people, consistently I am reaching out to the people and will continue to reach out to the people, present myself, sell myself to them. That does not rule out the fact that there are some people who may not buy into my agenda. It's expected. If Jesus Christ could not win 12 only, how do I expect to win every member of the Labour Party?
But I mean,
it's practically possible. So that's what we're looking for, +1.
Well, I mean, I don't know what the numbers are.
Yeah, +1, because once you strike 50%.
It's something to say that you can't win every single member. Correct. I mean,
you can't win every single member.
There are a lot of other people who are competing against you. Yeah. But wouldn't you have been better off in the APC, given the fact that you have a long track record there, and given that the unfortunate but unexpected death of one of the top front runners, Ifeanyi, who created a vacuum in the APC.
No, it's not about that. It's not about that. I agree that I played a role, like everybody agrees, in bringing APC to public knowledge and public acceptability. Yes, I played a role, there's no doubt about that. But the point, like I did say, when I was trying to look at the issue of electoral contestation, I made it very clear that 2 issues are critical. And those 2 issues are the person and then the platform. And decision about platform is not mine to make. It's about my team, it's about my friends, it's about my political associates who's been with me for all this while, that I've toiled there night and day with, who have listened to me, who have talked with me, who have contributed to my growth, politically speaking. And after all those consultations, we came to the understanding that you should run on Labour. Because the people talking to you are the people who work with you. These are the people who are going to help you in selling your agenda to the average Anambra man to buy.
So what exactly are you offering that will make Labour Party members, first of all, to choose you as the candidate, and if you do become that candidate, the people of Anambra State to possibly pick you as their governor?
As we speak today, the biggest problem and the most urgent challenge we have as a state is the issue of insecurity. We've reached a point where for every new day, you hear one news story, negative. If it is not kidnapping today, it is killing. If it is not killing, it is cult war. Any of these you will hear in my state. And when I talk with people, I tell them that the primary responsibility of any government is the protection of lives and property.
Yeah, but those are just words.
Good.
I mean,
no,
everybody
it is not.
who sat there.
No, it is not.
And who's running from different parties in Anambra State talks about security and talks about, the responsibility of government and so on. I mean,
fine. It's about now the person who can drive the process. And what do you intend?
Yeah, but how are you going to drive the process?
There are kinetic and non-kinetic. I've tried to explain this in various forums where I've been able to talk with the Labour Party and then talk with Labour Party leadership and talk with Anambrarians that have given me the opportunity to speak to them. For me, I see this as a primary responsibility because unless you address it, it's going to affect our economy, it's going to affect
Yeah, but as I said,
investment.
we all know that.
Good.
The question is, what are you going to do to address it?
There are basic things to do, which I think if we had done, the story won't be the same.
Yeah, but what are
For
those
example,
things?
I had said it even before we got to the point where we are. You hear vigilantes in the various communities. I have always proposed that we organize our vigilantes, get them properly documented, train them, bring the security to the people, involve the traditional institutions.
But isn't that what the present governor is doing?
Not. It's not. They just started the Homeland security arrangement a few days ago. And the simple question anybody will ask, what has been happening for the past 36 months?
Yeah, but at least he started it.
No, why do you have to bring it 8 months to the elections? And then you bring it in a situation where it has political coloration. Because these things can be done and should have been done. Why can't we provide the needed equipment for the security agencies? Why don't we build synergy? Okay. Why don't we get them involved?
Security is one of them. What's the other thing?
Infrastructural development. Our agriculture is zero. And Anambra has the capacity to feed this country. If you know about Anambra North, Anambra North has the capacity and potentials to feed this country. It's about government investing in it. It also will give us an opportunity to build and resolve the issue on the challenges of unemployment. There's quite a lot to do in that angle. We need to look at what is on the ground. Our infrastructure has collapsed. You see, when I was on channels and they asked me a question, oh, the governor is doing very well, I said, yes. Anybody can say that. But the truth about it is that if you are in a room that is pitch dark, complete darkness, if you bring candlelight, there's light. If you bring a 40 watts bulb, there's light. If you bring this type of light, there is light. So it's a matter of what level of illumination are you looking for?
That's a good illustration. And on that note, I want to thank you very much indeed for coming in. As the race progresses, come back and talk to us again.
I'll be glad to anytime.
Dr. George Moghalu is a Labour Party governorship aspirant in Anambra State. Thank you very much indeed.
My pleasure as always. Thank you for having me.
That's it for this edition of Arise Prime Time. Join us again tomorrow. From me and the entire team here in Abuja, bye-bye and thank you for watching.